So in this clip, I am going to go over movement. I wanted to be able to have interstellar travel available to players. The issue is that space is really, really, really big, and I didn't want us to use the D&D lore, so to speak, of the phlogiston. So instead I've reinterpreted it as kind of like a hyperspace, which we can call the phlogiston. I've labelled it flow in the notes that I've written, but it's essentially a space where the ship will drop into it and be able to travel at massively huge, high levels of speed. This makes it useless for being able to try and use in terms of miles and feet per second and all this sort of stuff. So I've split the speed of a ship into three parts. The base speed of a frame will affect this. So you have tactical units. So when I talked about speed or acceleration in the past, one tactical unit would be, once we've got the game board down, would be moving your ship by one grid. So if you have your ship, all ships will start at 0 when they come out of the flow, and you can add your acceleration on each turn. So a ship starts at 0, and if it has an acceleration of 1 in the first round, it can move once on its first turn. On its second turn, it would be able to move twice because it has an acceleration of 1. On its third turn, 3 times, etc. And that's how we use the tactical units. While it's within a system, the ship's speed will be measured in planetary units, and this will be to represent the distance between one planet to another, or from the planet to a particular object in space. So the ship would drop into the flow and move at these accelerated speeds to their new point in the planetary within the planetary system. The idea there being, if they kicked all the way into the next speed level, they would just shoot straight out of the system because they'd be moving way too fast. So that's the tactical units is for combat. Planetary units is for within a system, visiting other planets, and then the really high levels of speed that ships can get up to are measured in astronomical units. So when a ship is traveling between objects, it goes into the flow so it can travel faster than light, basically. Large objects create a kind of a dent in the flow, and so a ship will actually, when a large object is in the path of a ship and it's going through the flow, it will drop out of the flow, and it'll drop out of the flow and it'll be at 0 movement. The crew on board will be able to tell it dropped out of the flow, but it won't cause inertia is different, so it won't cause any injuries or anything. And unless the crew that is managing tactical and the helm are able to avoid it, then a ship will, if there's something in its path that they don't notice, a ship will drop out within a single tactical unit of an object. Really large objects are very obvious. so there's no chance of accidentally dropping into a planet. And in fact, even if they fell asleep, the shadow from a planet or something that large is so big that the ship would drop out automatically when it got to a distance, a much further distance than one tactical unit. To jump back into the flow, a ship must be more than 20 tactical units away. So you can see if you're in a small ship and you drop out and you're one tactical unit away from a massive ship, and they are hostile, you have to run, and you have to run faster than they do to get to that 20 units away from them so that you can jump into the flow. Just to reiterate, you've got your tactical units, planetary units, astronomical units. Additionally, a ship must use all of its speed on its turn. They don't have a choice. It's momentum. So if you have accelerated your ship to a speed of 10, then on your turn, you must choose where your ship is moving during that turn. It must move 10 tactical units. And the same goes for any ship that has a momentum. They must use that speed. The maximum speed that any ship can travel at within atmosphere is dropped down to essentially one tactical unit, and then we will drop back to the basic base rules of approximately 80 miles a day for travel. So you can see it's actually quicker to leave a planet, circle around, and drop back in again in order to effectively use a ship's speed and acceleration.